Hey listeners, before we start this episode of the Mickey and Minutes podcast, I want to talk about something awesome. We've partnered with Main Street Styles Co. They are a very cool shop on Etsy that sells high quality Disney inspired t-shirts. They have tons of really cool designs, including the ones we're currently wearing. Mine is a Parks inspired t-shirt. I'm here for the churros. I love this shirt because you know I love churros and the parks. What are you wearing, Andrew?
I am wearing the Mordu's Tavern t-shirt inspired by the amazing movie Brave, the fictional beer tavern for the bear that they fight throughout the movie.
I love how subtle that t-shirt is, Andrew. It looks so good.
It is, and actually it's a really, really comfortable shirt. The actual t-shirt itself is really comfy.
Yeah, they're awesome. And guess what? They don't just have t-shirts. They also have mugs, tote bags, journals, and more. So visit Main Street Styles Co. on Etsy and use coupon code Mickey and Minutes at checkout for 15% off your order. That's Mickey and Minutes, all one word, for 15% off your new subtle Disney t-shirt. Perfect for your next park visit. And now, on to the show. Hey, and welcome to the Mickey and Minutes podcast, the short Disney show.
Quick conversations, information, and inspiration.
I'm your host, Nick Lazaga.
And I'm Andy Gootz.
Let's go! Hey, what's going on, Andrew?
Nicholas, back at it, man.
Dude, we're back. I missed you last episode, man.
I know, but it was great to hear just kind of your old cadence a little bit.
Yeah, man, it was a cool episode. I feel like with Deadpool coming out, I really wanted to talk about attractions that break the fourth wall, and that's actually a topic that I had written for Mickey and Minutes a long time ago that I just never got to. So
no, it's
Deadpool
a great one.
Coming
I mean,
out,
I learned a lot from it too. All the points that you made, I had no idea.
Yeah, man, and you and I are about to go see Deadpool together. Us and our wives are doing a double date to see Deadpool this weekend. And I am actively avoiding spoilers.
It's so hard, though.
It's very hard. I feel like I've already gotten a couple. I don't want to talk about it.
Same.
But it's okay, man. Like, I'm just happy that we get to see it together.
It's going to be the first in-theaters movie I've seen since Avatar: The Way of Water. And I can't even remember when that came out.
I can't believe you saw that movie in theaters.
Of course. Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I saw that IMAX.
I saw it at home. Dude, after an hour of nothing happening, I turned it off.
Nah, man.
I couldn't. I love Pandora and Animal Kingdom, man, but I could not do that movie.
I don't regret it. It was still a great experience. Visually fantastic.
Anyway, so we're back at it together today for another episode of the Mickey and Minutes podcast, and I'm really excited for our topic today, Andrew. So we're gonna play a little armchair imagineering. We're gonna try to imagine some attractions that we want to see happen. But on the topic of new attractions coming to Disney, D23 is coming up. And if you guys don't know, D23 Expo, it used to be called D23 Expo, now it's just called D23. That's a Disney convention where they announce up-and-coming projects for live-action movies, for animation movies, and our bread and butter, the parks. Yep. So the Disney Experience Showcase, titled Horizons this year, will be on August 10th, and they have tons of things that they're going to announce.
Was last year the year that they announced, I guess, the removal of It's Tough to Be a Bug in replacement of putting in the Zootopia?
That was actually,
was that
that was not
ago?
announced at Expo. That was actually announced more recently at the D23 event that happened in Orlando.
Right.
That wasn't even Expo. After Expo, it felt like they were kind of scrambling to give us more announcements because I feel like a lot of people were disappointed. They didn't really announce very much. They did a lot of blue sky announcements. They kind of teased ideas for things, but there really weren't a lot of solid announcements. But this year we have some things that we're looking forward to that could possibly be announced. Obviously, we don't have any real information yet, but
what are some rumors? What are some rumors?
Yeah, I'll address some rumored announcements here. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of parks around the world that could have both major and minor announcements, so I'll just stick with Walt Disney World for the sake of time. I think they'll mostly announce new details about the projects that they kind of teased at Destination D last year and the last Expo. So let's start there. So we know already that Animal Kingdom is going to lose Dinoland,
yes,
right? That's going away, and it's being replaced by the Tropical America's Land. So they're going to put Encanto and Indiana Jones there. That's all we know right now.
And
And
already a lot we could even go down. We could go down that rabbit hole for hours.
yeah, I'm personally a huge fan of the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland. So it's incredible. So I'm really happy. If you guys don't know, the ride systems for Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom and Indiana Jones in Disneyland, they're the same ride system. The track layout's a little different.
So we're not looking at just a carbon copy of the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland in Disney World. That's not the
Yeah,
case.
exactly. That alone kind of tells you that it's going to be already kind of different. And we already have also the Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Crystal Skull in Tokyo. And that one has a different story also. So I'm not thinking they're going to copy. I'm thinking they're going to do something new with the attraction, with the story.
Okay.
So the other thing that they're supposedly going to have there is Encanto, right? And the only thing we've ever seen is the house.
Oh,
Well,
but the house with the cousin that can talk to animals. I
yeah,
guess is the only way I would say relating it to Animal Kingdom.
right. That's the tie-in for Animal Kingdom, I guess. As far as an attraction, we have no idea.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it could be. One thing I'm kind of thinking, former Imagineer Jim Schul, he has a show on YouTube where he kind of talks about the parks and stuff. And he mentioned the possibility of a ride system like Mystic Manor that's currently in Hong Kong coming to the United States.
It's like a Haunted Mansion-esque ride. Correct?
Exactly. But that ride system is trackless.
Okay.
It's a trackless ride system more akin to like Rise of the Resistance or like
Yeah.
Runaway Railway or Ratatouille. So something like that. Really high-tech animatronics, a trackless ride system
Through the house, perhaps.
through the house. Yeah. You know,
I mean,
that's an idea.
it's cool. It's cool. But is
I
it
wonder what
animal,
the story would be.
But is it Animal Kingdom? That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Animal Kingdom. The Indiana Jones doesn't feel like Animal Kingdom either. The thing about Indiana Jones that I think is funny, I feel like a lot of people don't remember all the Indiana Jones novels that came out.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one that was called Indiana Jones and the Dinosaur Eggs. Could you
Okay.
imagine if they did something like with dinosaurs just to kind of tie into the fact
Homage
that
it a
used to be
little bit. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
I'm with
That
you.
could be really cool. Yeah. Another thing that we kind of already know about is the Beyond Big Thunder stuff, right?
That's right. You've alluded to that in previous episodes.
Yeah, we talked about this on our
In the
Frontierland
Frontierland
episode.
Yep.
Exactly. So one of the things that should be coming to Beyond Big Thunder is Coco, a Coco land and a Coco attraction.
Really into that. Love me some Coco. I mean, obviously, it's about a little Hispanic boy who loves to play the guitar, so that hits home for me pretty big. A Coco dark ride through the other side in the skeleton world is what makes the most sense. In my honest opinion, Coco belongs in a complete revamp of the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot.
You know, there was a rumor that they were going to do a Coco attraction to replace Rio de Tiempo. Yeah, Three Caballeros. But what I heard is that the sheer popularity of that attraction is what made it impossible because there's no room for a queue. There's no place to put
walls
people.
down. Just the Mexico Pavilion itself is very, very crowded, and so I think
It's my favorite pavilion. I'll be honest.
I don't know. I think they could do more with the restaurant. They could do more with the ride. Put Coco in Mexico.
Okay, I feel that. The other thing that might be coming for Beyond Big Thunder that they might announce at D23 Expo this year is a Villains Land.
That'd be sweet.
That was one of the most blue sky parts of the last announcements, so we have no idea. I'm thinking Coco would be like a phase 1, and then Villains or something would be on a different phase.
Nick,
now,
for our listeners, can you elaborate a little bit on what you mean when you say blue sky idea?
Yeah, sure. So in Imagineering, when they talk about a blue sky idea, what they mean is they're basically pitching like a big grand idea and then they'll narrow it down later, right?
Gotcha.
So at the
kind
last
of an ambiguous idea, but you get the overall theme.
Exactly. So what they kind of did last time when they were talking about their blue sky ideas, it was more like a blue sky concept in the sense that it's here's the idea, now what can we do with it, right?
Okay.
Now, the other thing that I think would be really, really cool and that I've heard rumors of that could maybe be announced this D23, maybe not, and that's a Moana attraction, a Moana ride for the Magic Kingdom. Now, what I've heard, Andrew...
Which would also be in the Beyond Big Thunder plans.
Actually, no. What I've heard is that it's going to be behind Pirates of the Caribbean. So like you'd enter like where Pirates of the Caribbean Plaza is.
In
To the
Adventureland.
left in Adventureland, to the left of where that big tower is, where the pirate flag is.
Yep.
Back there, you walk that way, and there's some sort of expansion pad where they could possibly be putting this Moana attraction.
Comments.
Yeah.
Comment number 1: does Moana belong in Adventureland?
Absolutely, man. That is such an adventure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I guess I already see Moana being in Epcot, and with a lot of the animals and the nature, I see her more in an animal kingdom. But
it was announced last expo that Moana would be coming to Animal Kingdom, right? And they since replaced it with the because before it was going to be like Moana and Zootopia and Coco, remember?
Yes.
And they revamped all that because that was a Blue Sky announcement, right? Okay. So then they went back and they revamped it, whatever. With that announcement, there was also concept art already released, and part of it included a Splash Mountain style drop.
Okay.
That could still happen, man.
So then this goes to comment number 2, or I guess question number 2: 2 boat rides next to each other, and actually arguably 3 boat rides because the Jungle Cruise is right
and
down
Tiana
the
down the way.
Yeah.
A
lot of boat rides.
To quote one of my favorite podcasts, Wedway Radio, they used to always say, "Better on a boat. Attractions are better on a boat." So. Thank you, Matt and Nate Parrish from that podcast. Okay. Better on a boat. And last on the rumors for possible Walt Disney World announcements, maybe Zootopia as another concept for Beyond Big Thunder. That ride, Hot Pursuit in Shanghai.
Oh, that ride is just sensational.
Yeah, man. That could be really cool. Who knows what they're going to announce? But you know what? All of this excitement over, what could be coming.
Yes.
Leads us to think, well, if we were designing attractions, what would we do? Right now, Disney get a lot of heat for using IP all the time. By IP, I mean intellectual property, right? So Disney has all these films, all these franchises. Yeah. Yep. That it seems like every time they build a new attraction, it's based on IP that they have, as opposed to writing something original, like Haunted Mansion was an original IP when it came out. Pirates of the Caribbean, before Johnny Depp, that was an original IP. All that kind of stuff, right? We mentioned Mystic Manor a little while ago. That's one of the last. Yep, that's one of the last original IP attractions Disney has made.
But we've also discussed in our Frontierland episode, the audience, the crowds connect with IPs, and that just kind of seems to be the trend right now.
It does, right. But what we've also noticed, Andrew, and we've talked about this a lot on and off the air, is that it seems like they keep using the same IP over and over and over again, right? We were just talking about Moana already being in Epcot, right? What if Disney dug into their bag of movies
or listen to this podcast?
Right, exactly. And picked out something that people genuinely love that is underutilized, right? We talked a lot about a Goofy movie on our summer series and the idea of a Goofy movie attraction, right? That's definitely an underused IP. So our topic for today, our main topic for today's show is what underused or underrepresented Disney IP would we want to see in the park, and how would we use that?
Love it. Kick us off, man. Kick us off. What do you got?
So I was thinking, man, one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite Disney movies of all time is Hercules.
Oh yeah, love it.
And by the way, at the end of this episode, stay tuned. We're going to announce something really, really awesome that has to do with Hercules. Hercules has no representation in the parks, Andrew.
Yeah, none.
Has nothing. Here's what I'm picturing.
Okay.
I want a Greek pavilion in Epcot's World Showcase.
Oh, yes. That's so good. I was wondering where you were going to go. That is a great idea. Fantastic idea.
Yeah, World Showcase has all these wonderful countries that are represented. They showcase the food and the architecture. And lately, they've been tying in Disney attractions that are, sort of related, right? We have Frozen in Norway and Ratatouille in France.
Hopefully Coco in the Mexican pavilion.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we need a Greek pavilion. So that country, the country of Greece, obviously a beautiful country, known for its food and architecture. So there are several expansion pads ready to go in World Showcase. When built
plots of land that are
empty. When they built World Showcase, they always had the idea of adding more countries.
Yeah.
The last country that was added to World Showcase was Norway, and that was in 1988.
Wow.
Yeah. There are still some expansion pads located around World Showcase by Japan and Morocco. There's another one between Italy and Germany and another one between Germany and China that are just ripe
Ready.
for the taking. Yep. So here's my idea, Andrew.
Okay, so we have the Greek pavilion ready
A
to
Greek
go.
pavilion. Yeah. So
What is the attraction?
I'll get there.
Okay.
I'll get there. I need to build to that, Andrew.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So the architecture, there's always like a nice building in these pavilions that kind of represent the culture, right?
Yeah.
The Parthenon.
Yep.
That's it.
That's the
obviously.
big
The weenie, right? The big building that,
Right, right.
that stands out. And then Greek food, obviously,
Gyros.
gyros or gyros or however you say that. Greek salads, all that kind of stuff. Hercules meet and greet. Hercules and Meg meet and greet. That's what I'm thinking. Then I'm also thinking a little themed play area and splash pad themed to Phil training young heroes.
Oh,
Right? So
yes.
exactly. So a little place for the kids to run around and play, and it's like little training things. It looks like the weights that Hercules does, and like you can jump around on things, maybe some slides or something. But it's
I like
all
that.
themed to like Phil training. Remember that sequence in the movie? You want to be a hero, kid?
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. That whole thing. So like that.
Okay.
Splash pads and a little obstacle course. That could be awesome.
Something where they sell olive oil, I feel like is needed.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, in the shop. There's always going to be a shop, right? Okay, the attraction. Here's my idea. Here's my armchair Imagineering idea. Disney, I know you're not listening, but if you do find this would be really cool. So the attraction could be called Hercules Hero's Journey.
Okay.
I know Disney loves to have the word journey in their attraction.
They do.
So Hero's Journey. My idea is that it's the same type of ride system like Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure in Tokyo. Have you seen this attraction? It's a similar ride system to that of Spider-Man, the Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
So what it is, it's a combination of screens and sets. And I want to sprinkle in some actual animatronics in there. Guys, if you haven't seen a ride through of Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure in Tokyo Disney Sea, go watch that. It's really cool. One might argue, oh, it's very screen heavy, but it's still really cool. The attraction ride vehicle still moves.
Yeah.
And as it goes from scene to scene, it passes real sets, and most of the action is taking place on the screen. Now, the idea that I have for this attraction is that after the events of Hercules, Phil is back in business training heroes.
Love it.
So he's training you. You are the hero recruits, and the ride vehicle will be like one of those like Grecian like carriages.
Chariot.
That's the word. Thank you. And in the video or in the screen in front of you, it's going to look like you're being pulled by Pegasus because Phil wants to take you to Mount Olympus to meet Hercules. So when you get up to Mount Olympus, you see Hercules and you find out that somehow Hades returned, a la Star Wars. Somehow Palpatine returned. Yep. If we take our cue from Star Wars, we don't need a reason.
No,
it doesn't matter. Apparently, it doesn't matter. So somehow Hades returned. And when you're up there, it starts off as a fun journey. You're flying over Thebes and Greece, and you're being pulled by Pegasus. You're flying up there. You're seeing all the cool locations. And then you meet Hercules.
Go the distance blaring in the background.
Absolutely, exactly. And when you meet Hercules, somehow you find out that this happened, and then Hercules is like, "Well, here's a great opportunity for our new trainees, whatever." And then you follow Hercules, you see him battle, some of these mythical creatures, and then you end up down in the underworld where Hercules throws Hades back into the the sea that he was at the end with the lost souls, the whole thing.
The river Styx.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. And, that's how the ride ends. And it's, in typical Disney fashion, it starts off cool and then something goes wrong.
Gets intense.
Yeah, yeah. And so all the time, your ride vehicle is moving around and the action's happening on the screen. You're going from scene to scene. There's sets around you, some animatronics around you, and
I think that could be really cool. The tracklessness, but with like the excitement of a Star Tours.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get at me for talking about screens. That's the current technology right now.
It is the current technology. It's what you do as long as you're not lazy with the screens.
Exactly.
Then there's a big difference.
Yep. So that's my idea, Andrew.
I love that, man. Yeah, the Greek pavilion itself is huge. You could do so much just with the Greek pavilion alone, right?
Andrew, what is your idea? What do you think Disney is not using that they should be?
All right. I'm going with something that, in my opinion, is very relevant still. Did good enough in theaters to have a sequel, and that is Wreck-It Ralph, man. I love Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph was so good. And then Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet. Just all of the IPs that were in Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet alone could populate a ride. So here's my, here's my proposition. You might not like it. You might not like it.
Oh no. All right, Andrew, what is it?
I think that Test Track in Epcot should have a huge retheme to be Wreck-It Ralph. Hear me out.
It's already getting a retheme.
I know. My point.
Okay. Tell me.
This is going to be the third theme of Test Track, and it's all just you're in a car related. And I think just the idea of just the excitement of riding in a car isn't good enough. It works for Cars Land in California because there's the excitement of cars, and then with the fun race at the end, and it's a great ride. So the track system is proven to work, but just the idea of just being in a car, I know.
You need to spice it up a little bit. Okay.
My point.
So Sugar Rush is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Well, not just sugar. It ends with Sugar Rush. So
okay.
So the queue itself, man, you're in the circuit breaker from Litwax Arcade. You see all the different doors that you could go through with all the different video games that you could travel to that are connected in the circuit breaker.
Okay.
The ride could start out very similarly. Everything's great. You're just going to go on a gentle tour of the internet. You could start off by going, you could go through the internet, all the fun internet-y things and jokes that you could make, just ride itself with that. All of it ends on somehow Turbo returned.
I love how we're both going with that idea. Thank you, Star Wars.
Somehow Turbo is back, and we have to go stop him in the Sugar Rush ride, or else all the Sugar Rush people are gonna. So King Candy's back. The whole thing, right? And it ends on like a high-speed Sugar Rush chase. The track system has been proven with cars. I just think that being in a car is not as spicy.
So I definitely see your connection, you know, especially take your mind out of Test Track and really think about cars in California, how they have the animatronic scenes and all that stuff.
Yes.
It's extremely similar. They're basically the same. They're basically the same ride.
Yeah.
Test Track and cars. So I could see that, man.
Test Track came out in 1999. So Nick, when did they do the first retheme of Test Track to what it was up until a few months ago?
2012. That's when they made it into the Test Track where you design your own car. Very Tron-esque Test Track.
So 12 years ago. And then the concept still remained the same. Just you're in a car. You're just in a futuristic car. And now what's the latest theme going to be?
So now they're retheming it to be, we don't know a lot about it, but it's going to have ties to the original attraction that was there called World of Motion. That attraction was a slow omnimover attraction through the history of like motor vehicles and transportation and that kind of stuff. That went away and was replaced by Test Track. And somehow, I don't know how they're going to tie it in to that, but that's what they said. So old school Epcot fans are super stoked on it. And they're currently yelling at you, Andrew, saying, no, we want World of Motion. We want World of Motion.
I think Wreck-It Ralph would do very, very well there. And it's a relevant IP. It got a sequel.
There was a rumor that Wreck-It Ralph was going to come to Magic Kingdom. It was going to be the replacement for Stitch's Great Escape. The idea that was rumored was that it was going to be like a VR experience. You were going to be in those seats. You were going to have VR goggles, and it was going to be some sort of racing attraction there. That never happened, but there is a Wreck-It Ralph attraction coming to a Disney park.
Really?
Yes, it was announced that Wreck-It Ralph is taking over the Buzz Lightyear attraction in Tokyo.
Oh,
so
like it's going to be a shooting game.
It's going to be a shooting attraction, exactly. So just picture Buzz, but with Wreck-It Ralph characters. Apparently, you're going to be like shooting. I think there's those little bugs from the first movie.
Yeah.
So that is actually coming to Tokyo Disneyland.
Not as cool,
man. We have some good ideas here. Disney, come on, hire us.
What are your ideas for a new ride at Disney World or Disneyland? Let us know. DM us on Instagram. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, Blue Sky. Any IP that you think is not being used to its full potential, let us know. So, Andrew, in my idea, my Hercules idea, I teased that we were going to announce something today, and I could not be more excited to talk about this. We've been working on a secret project for a little while now.
We've been talking about this project for literally years.
I think it's pretty common knowledge by now to people who've been listening that you and I used to be in a band together.
Yes, we were.
We're super stoked to announce that we are going to play music again under the name Hi Dad Soup.
Nick and I are going to be releasing a series of songs under this name. That's going to be a combination of folk and pop punk. And of course, all Disney covers just for you.
Yeah, and we wanted to give you guys, our podcast listeners, an exclusive first listen of the very first single from Hi Dad Soup, a pop punk cover of Go the Distance from Hercules. Here it is. Enjoy.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. My boy, my Hercules. I will beat the odds. I will go the distance. I will face the world, fearless, proud, and strong. I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong.
All right. We hope you enjoyed that. Our next episode, we will be finally finishing out the summer series. Remember that? We're doing that.
We've made a promise to y'all to discuss a few things gaming related. We are going to fulfill our promise.
We promise. Yep. First episode of summer series, we talked about a goofy movie. Second episode is our summer playlist. Third episode, games for summer, Lorcana. It's coming at you next episode. Thanks for listening.
See y'all soon.
Thanks again for listening to the Mickey and Minutes podcast. If you liked it, subscribe and leave a review on Apple or Spotify. Follow us on Instagram at Mickey and Minutes and check out mickeyandminutes.weebly.com for show notes and exclusive content.